on your journey, on the realizations that you had, what do you feel were some of the biggest needle movers to help you move through your own personal recovery, but to also help keep you motivated so that you could keep doing the work that you knew that you were meant to do?
Okay. So, yeah, people always talk, like when you do personal growth, they always talk about motivation and how do you pump yourself up. And I've taken quite a few of those courses. I have a different view of that. There is a current, a deep current within you. And I don't know what you call it, the current of life or whatever you call that. There's a deep current within you that is always flowing. It doesn't need to be motivated. In the same way as, the sun does not need to be motivated to shine, right? Well, we do not need to be motivated to shine either. It is our nature to grow. It is our nature to explore. It is our nature to understand. It is our nature to help. In fact, our nature, our essential nature, which is the nature of the life energy, because I'm not the body. If I ask you, Tansy, whose body is that? What would you tell me? Whose body is that? I pointed at you. Whose body is that?
I would say that it's mine.
Yeah, so most everybody would say, this is
Right.
my body. But you know that the moment you say that, you've busted yourself. Because if that's your body, you've just said you're not the body. In fact, what you've said is you're the owner of the body. It is my body is my possession, right? It's in the language, but we don't pay attention to it. So if you're not the body, but you're the owner of the body, then the next question is, well, who are you as owner of the body? Well, then who are you? If you're not the body and your body is your property, then who are you? And most people would say, I haven't really thought about it. I don't really know. But life is who you are. And then you have to say, well, what is life? Well, we live on a planet that has a sun 93 million miles away. And that sun, by nature, radiates in all directions. And because we're in one direction from it, the radiation from the sun that falls on Earth, there's energy that lands on Earth. And that energy is filtered through 93 million miles of space. Then it's filtered through Earth's atmosphere. Then it's filtered through plants that absorb a fraction of that solar energy. And then that energy activates electrons from different atoms. And then when they're activated, it's like dancing before having sex. Sorry, but that's a bad image maybe, but they get activated, then they react and bond together. And now you've got two atoms bonded together. And then it can happen to a whole bunch of atoms. You end up with a molecule. And that solar energy fraction is stored in the bonds between the atoms in those molecules. Those become your food. You eat them, digest them, absorb them. In your cells, those bonds get broken down. That energy is released, and that solar energy fraction is now called life or life energy. And that life energy weighs nothing and runs everything in your body. And it's omnipresent, so it's present in your body from head to toe, in every cell. Omnipresent, omnipotent, it is the only power in your body that runs anything. So it's omnipotent. And it knows how to run everything using a genetic program that it developed over eons. So it's omniscient as well. And one of the definitions of God is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. So now you have, so solar energy fraction is life energy, is God. And this is not mysterious. This is in the system, right?
That's the most beautiful definition of defining the concept of God is within us.
Yeah. So now let me say one more thing that's even cooler. So the question you now have to ask, what is the nature of that life energy, of that God within us? And it is empowering, unconditional love for the body. So life, as owner of life, you are unconditional love for your body. And if your nature, if your essential nature as energy is unconditional love, and you take the time, which usually requires a stillness practice, some kind of a self-knowledge, self-remembrance, stillness practice, and you let your focus of awareness come into that energy, and you feel completely taken care of, then it's not like, I'm worried I'm not good enough, I'm worried I'm not going to be loved. No. You are unconditionally loved because your essential nature, your individual essence, is unconditional love. And to answer my 6-year-old question, how there must be a way to live in harmony, if you take the time to be present to that unconditional love in you, and I do that too, and 8 billion people on the planet do that too, we actually will be able to live in complete harmony, because all of us will be loving, not judging, loving, helping, because once I feel cared for, because I am, so it's part of my nature, once I feel that, there's nothing left to do with my life except to help. It's not like, before I knew that, it was like, oh, what can I do that'll get me taken care of? Because I didn't feel taken care of. But I didn't feel taken care of, not because I wasn't taken care of. I didn't feel taken care of because I didn't go where the care for me lives, inside. Right?
What's so fascinating about this is that, yes, each and every one of us are on our own journeys when it comes to filling our vessel with health, wellness, vitality, but we always hear these concepts of you got to love yourself unconditionally. You need more stillness and meditation in your life. God is within you. You are more great than you know. Like all of these concepts, yet so many of us poo-poo this away as just being, oh, if I have time, I'll get to it. I need to get to the gym instead.
Right. Okay.
So let's talk about that. Why do you think that that's so?
Well, the masters, and we can go in that direction too, right? The masters, whether you talk about Buddha or Jesus or Krishna or Ram or Lao Tzu or Huang Po, there's been a whole bunch of them in different places in the world. They always said, do this first. Give this priority. Do whatever you have to do to experience the ownership, who you are as owner of the body. Do that first. And then they didn't only just say that, they said, if you do that first, everything else in your life is going to start falling into place. And we go out there, oh, ta-da, well, if I make $1 million, oh, if I get the girl, oh, if I can defeat him in an election, if I can, and then I'll feel, and we do that, and we do it over and over again, and we never get the satisfaction that we hope for at the end of our success. Why? Because our external accomplishments do not get us in touch with our internal essence, where the love that we're looking for, where the contentment, the completion is already waiting for us. And the purpose, the reason for that, to get to in terms of the bigger picture, is when you were in your mother's womb, where was your focus? Well, let's see, where was your focus? Well, let's see, there was nothing to do, nowhere to go. Everything was taken care of, and it was pretty safe. So there you were. Your focus was at rest, inside, in its source, in life, or in behind that, in awareness. That's where your focus was. So your focus was inside, and it never went outside. because there was no place to go. There's like, yeah, maybe little salty amniotic fluid. Maybe you heard her little farts going down her digestive tract, but you didn't know what it was. You just heard the noise, right? Or there was maybe a little light if she had her tummy exposed and some sunshine fell on her tummy, right? So, but there wasn't really anything to grab to. So we were present inside in our awareness and absent outside. We didn't even know we had a mother. We didn't have to go pee poo. We didn't have to ask for, we didn't have to cry. There was like literally, there was nothing to do. We had no language. We didn't even know we had a mother. We didn't even know we had a body. We were the light building the body, but we didn't even know that because we didn't have the mental discrimination for it. So there you are, and you're in deep meditation for 9 months if you're a normal term baby. Deep meditation inside, in light. You can see it, you can hear it, you can feel it, you can even taste it. And so you're hanging out there. And it would have been the most boring possible situation, and you weren't bored. You were in bliss. You were in light. Just hanging out. Right? And then you came out, and then everything changed. Because now you had to cry for your breast, and you had to cry for your diaper change, and you had to cry when you're uncomfortable. And then slowly you had to figure out how to use language to say what you actually needed, because when you just cry, then people are guessing what you need. And then you had to get to know the world, because now you weren't safe anymore, not really safe. So every time something changed, your focus of awareness was drawn out through your senses to monitor the change, to figure out, is this friend to go towards? Is this enemy to run from? Or is this irrelevant to ignore? And then we had to do that. And then you have to do that for survival. So we got really good at it, because every day, you know how it goes, right? If I give a talk and I'm giving a really good concentrated talk and everybody's concentrated and they're all listening, and the side door opens and somebody walks in, I lose my entire audience instantly. Because the moment something changes, you gotta figure out what its value is to your survival. So nature made it easy. So going out. And so what happened in that process? You were present inside, absent outside. Now you've become present outside and absent inside. And that feeling of not being enough, or not being loved, or not being worthy, or whatever, however you say, something's missing, that feeling, I call it heartache. That's where that began. It came from the natural, normal, necessary process of your focus of awareness moving into the world to get to know the world. And then you have heartache. And now, you make the $1 million, you get 3 days, you say, yeah, I did it. And the next day you feel let down, or you feel depressed, because you thought, you hoped, consciously, subconsciously, you hoped that when you made your $1 million, when you made your goal, when you got your success, that then you would feel okay again. Then you would feel whole again. Then you would feel loved again. Then you would feel worthy again. But that's not how it works. Your worthy is already within you. Your love is already within you. Your success is already within you, waiting for you deliberately, because this doesn't happen automatically, deliberately to bring your focus of awareness back inside to its origin, to go back into the state of being that you occupied when you were in your mother's womb. That's what meditation and self-knowledge practices are about. That's where all the yogis are trying to get to. They're trying to get back into the state of being present inside like they were before they were born. And in that space, now that you understand, you got an outside and an inside, you got form, which is temporary, and you got energy that is formless and indestructible. Now you want to go inside and you want to feel the awareness, which is, you could call that the field. That's what physicists call it. You could call it God. That's what the religious people call it. So awareness And that awareness, you connect to it in the core of your being, but it goes out to infinity from there. It is not limited by the dimensions of your body. And you experience that, right? Or you see the light. Well, the light is the master. Life is the master. Buddha, Krishna, Christ, whatever, that is the master. The master is already within you. You don't do a formula and invite him in. He's already waiting for you to bring your focus back home, right? And then out of that shine into the world, when you are that shine, comes inspired purpose. That's your shine of unconditional love into the world. And then when you're inspired, then you do crazy things like I did on my 101-day tour, right? Because it's about how can I help the most people? You know, what can I do that helps the most people in the most ways, in the best ways?